Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
Aye, doggies, Lum, I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, Jot 'em Down store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, so far, all that Lum and Abner know about Mr. B.J. Webster is that he arrived in Pine Ridge about a week ago, and since then has looked at a few pieces of property and taken a sample of the spring water on Grandpappy Spears' farm. As we look in on the little community today, we find Abner in the Jot 'em Down store and library. Lum is just entering. Listen.
Come in. Oh, howdy, Lum. You back already?
Hi, Granny's, Abner. You know what? That Mr. Webster's calling a big meeting tonight. Going to have all the business leaders in town at it.
Here? Tonight, huh?
Yes, sir. Walt Bates, Ezra Seastrunk, Caleb Wee Hunt, and some others are going to it, I know.
Well, what's the meeting all about?
Well, nobody seems to know. Has any calls came in for me from Mr. Webster or his secretaries?
No. Miss Barton called up to order some groceries, but that's all.
That's curious. The other fellas has done got their invites already.
Well, maybe he ain't aiming to invite you, Lum.
Well, he's inviting all the big business leaders, ain't he?
Yeah. Leastways, that's what you said.
Well, do you know a bigger business leader in town than me?
Well, yeah, there's Walt Bates, Ezra Seastrong, Caleb Wee Hunt.
Abner, you don't have to go into such details.
Well, you asked me a question.
You don't have to answer every question you hear, neither. You're too nosy. That's your trouble. But I can't ask a question around here, but what you think you got to jump up and answer it.
Well, I'm sorrowful if I'd done something wrong. I never aimed to.
Well, just be more careful in the future.
All right, I'll try.
Whenever you do give an answer, leastways try to get it right.
Well, didn't I get it right?
No, you never. Leastways, you never give the answer I had in mind.
Well, would you mind repeating the question? Let me have another try at it.
I ain't going to do it.
Well, how do you expect me to get the right answer if you don't even let me know what the question is?
Abner, just forget it.
On them quiz programs on the radio, they always repeat the question for you. Even give you a little hint to sort of help you along on.
Abner, I told you to forget it.
No hints, huh?
Point of this whole thing is that I'm just as big a business leader as every one fella in this town.
Was that the question?
Yes.
The answer is no.
Oh, is that so? Well, who's bigger?
Walt Bates, Ezra Seastrong, Caleb...
Now, wait a minute, Abner. Mind out what you're saying. You just wait and see who'll be the one that'll get up and make a lot at meeting.
Ulysses S. Quincy?
No, sir. It won't be one of them three. You just named neither. It'll be somebody right in this store.
Oh, Lord, I couldn't study up no suggestion.
I ain't talking about you. I mean me.
Well, you ain't been invited to the meeting.
I will be, though, I think. You can't hold a big business leaders meeting in Pine Ridge without me. I hate to cast compliments right in my own face, but there's them that says I'm the leadingest leader they ever seen.
Who's them?
Them who?
Them that says about you.
Abner, what's your grammar there? It ain't who's them, it's who's they.
Well, who's they?
Why, they's, see now. Would you mind repeating that question?
Well, I believe I forget myself what it is now.
For pity's sakes. You got both of us so mixed up, neither one of us know what we're saying no more.
Well, do you reckon the answer is the same as that other?
What other?
Walt Bates, Ezra Seastrong, Caleb...
Abner, stop saying that. I'm getting sick and tired of hearing them names.
What names? Walt Bates and Ezra...
Abner, will you hush up? You're just asking for a whop on the head. That's what you're doing.
I ain't no such a thing. I'm just trying to get along with you. Because I never seen anybody as touching my life as you are today, Lum. Jump on me the least little thing I say.
Well, I'm sorrowful, Abner, if I acted that way. I'm just sort of nervous and jumpy.
Well, it's all right.
Meant no harm.
Well, I know that you're just upset because you never got an invite to that meeting. That's the trouble.
What do you mean I never got an invite?
Well, you never.
No, but I will. And I'll tell you one thing. When they do call up here, they're going to have to do a right smart of begging to get me to go to their old meeting. I ain't like them other fellers. Jump at every little thing that comes their way.
You mean that...
Sitting around waiting for an invite.
You won't even go to the meeting if they do call you?
Oh, I'll go eventually.
Huh?
I'll have to. They'll put the pressures on me.
The pressures?
Yeah. They know good and well they wouldn't get no place without me there.
Huh?
But I'll throw a few scares into them first.
How you going to scare them on?
Oh.
Go over and put a sheet on yourself and go to the meeting and make them think you're a ghost?
No.
That's a good way.
Act like I ain't interested. That'll scare them.
It will, huh?
Act like I can't find time for their little old no-count meeting.
Oh, boy, I bet they'd be scared.
And I know something else. When they call up, I'm going to have you answer the phone. Make out like you're my secretary and stenographer.
Well, I don't know how to stenog or nothing like that, Lum.
It's easy. Just make it sound like I'm a hard man to get to.
Oh.
I'll tell you what to say and how to act.
Well, I might forget it, though, Lum.
Oh, ain't nothing to it. Just pick up the phone and say, hello? Mr. L. Edders, Justice of the Peace and Business Executive, Private Secretary talking. Mr. Edders is in a conference and can't see nobody.
I'm supposed to say all that?
Yeah. Try it over once.
Yeah, hello, Private L. Edders talking to a business executive in a conference and can't see nothing.
Nothing. Nobody.
I thought that. It can't see nothing or nobody, neither one.
No, you're getting it all wrong.
What
you're supposed to say is... Or wait a minute. Maybe we better boil it down to just one fast hello and let it go at that.
Well, I can get it. Just tell me what to say. I'll say it, Lum.
No, it's better this way. Safer. The main thing for you to do is concentrate on sounding cold.
Cold? Sort of rattle my teeth when I talk, huh?
No, not that kind of cold. I mean, have a cold altitude towards everybody. Make whoever you talk to feel as uncomfortable as you can.
Oh, get them cool, huh?
Yeah, you gotta learn how to stare at folks to where they feel like they made a mistake ever coming in there in the first place.
I got to stare at them over the telephone?
No, you just gotta make your voice sound that way.
Well, I was going to say I got pretty good eyes, but not that good. I can't stare over the telephone with them. Well, I can stare, but I don't think the folks on the other end could see me. What else do you want me to do?
Well, I'll tell you what else when the time comes. You've got enough to practice on there as it is.
Yeah, I better be practicing if I see. Stare at my voice and say hello. Hello? Hello?
That ain't no good. You sound too friendly there.
Hello?
No.
Hello?
That's better.
Yeah.
But practice to yourself, Abner.
Oh.
Ezra C-Strong. Now, what kind of a businessman is he?
Is he? Oh, he's a good businessman, Lum. He's always been a big success. Made money, got his home over there all paid for.
That's enough. Don't start telling me what a wonderful man he is.
I never.
I'm interested in hearing it.
Well,
what about Caleb Weehunt?
Caleb?
No big businessman.
He got his blacksmith shop over there. In fact, says he's fixing automobiles, too, on a side sorter, and raised a big family, sent them all to school. He's got
Yeah,
money
but
in
what
the
about
bank.
Walt Bates? He ain't no big businessman.
Walt, with the defense plan over there? Why, he's over there working day and night.
What are you trying to do? Start an argument with me?
I ain't arguing. You just asked me about what kind of businessman them fellas was.
Didn't mean for you to talk all day long on them.
Oh. Yeah, Walt's
like
a good one.
Preaching their funeral to hear you talk.
I weren't preaching nothing. I was just telling you about Walt over there and his defense plan.
I never heard so many nice things said about 3 no-count fellers in my life.
Now, Lum, them fellers ain't no count, and you know it. They're 3 of your best friends.
Are you sure nobody called up for me today?
Not a soul.
I can't understand that.
The
day's wearing on, too. But I reckon ain't nothing to do with just wait.
Wait.
I know one thing, though. I ain't going to call them.
Well, what do they want you to call them for, Lum?
Well, I don't know. I never said they did.
Oh.
But if they want L. Edders, they got to come to him.
They have, huh?
Yeah, just sit here and wait them out. I don't care if it takes all summer. I'll do it.
That's our time. Don't let them buffalo you.
Show them a thing or two.
Yeah, good for you. That's their attitude.
Yes, sir. I'll show them. It's getting late, ain't it?
Yeah, a little, it is.
You know, maybe Mr. Webster, his secretary, knows our ring here.
Well, they must. They called up over here that day. They thought you was a barber.
That's right, ain't it?
Yeah, they called.
Of course, they might have forgot it by now.
Well, they might have. I doubt it, though.
Yeah, I was just thinking, Abner, it'd be a shame if they've been trying to call me all this time and the lines has been all jammed up.
jammed up.
Yeah, maybe we ought to just sort of call over there.
Well, the lines ain't jammed up, Lum.
Well, you never can tell about them things. No use taking a chance. Get on the phone there.
All right. I don't know what to say to him, though. Just hello. That's as far as I know.
I'll tell you what to say. Main thing is not to sound anxious or interested even.
Don't, wait a minute. Hello? This Mr. Webster? This is Abner Peabody. Just a minute. Now, what did I say, Lum?
Well, just sort of hint around about the meeting somewhere now.
Oh. Hello, Mr. Webster? You having a meeting tonight? You have? Well, I've been here all day. Why, sure. Yes, sir. Just a minute. Yeah, he's having one, Lum. Now, what did I say?
Well, bring up my name somewhere. There'll be subtitle about it.
Yeah. Hello? Well, can Lum come to it?
Oh, my goodness, you ruined me. Don't say that, Abner, for goodness sake.
Oh, I see. Uh-huh. Yeah, that'll be fine. All right, sir. Goodbye.
What do you say? Can I go?
I don't know. He's going to call back. He has to check with the committee first.
The committee? Who's that?
Oh, nobody.
Well, it must be somebody. Who is it?
Me and Walt Bates and Ezra C. Strong and Caleb Weeshorn.
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
Aye, Doggy's Lum, I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, jot 'em down, store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, both Lum and Abner were finally invited to attend the meeting of the town's business leaders, which Mr. B.J. Webster called last night. And now, as we look in on the little community today, we find the old fellows in their jot-em-down store and library discussing the events of the preceding evening. Listen.
Yes, sir, Doggies, that was the best one meeting I ever been to in my whole life.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was a good one. Ain't no two ways about that.
I never enjoyed nothing so much I don't believe. I bound you that Mr. Webster is the best one out-loud talker I ever sat on.
Oh, yeah, he outcaps anybody I ever run up against.
He's a dandy.
He's got awful good idea there, too. Got to hand it to him.
Yeah, them big words he's throwing around there, Lum. Doggies, he must sit up nights reading the dictionaries, you know.
He must have wrote it. His name's Webster.
All right, Doggies, wait a minute. That's right. Well, no wonder he knowed so many of them big words. Why, Lord me alive, I never knowed that. I was sitting out there listening to him. I got one of his books at home there. I ain't read it, or I read about half of it. I don't know. I couldn't get interested in it at all.
I ain't for sure that he wrote it. I just know his name's Webster, and a fellow by the name of Webster wrote the dictionaries.
Yeah, he more likely wrote it, all right. He never got that book, the story connected up, though, like he did his speech last night for some reason or another. He can even outdo Squire Skimp when it comes to talking.
Oh, yeah. Of course, I'm surprised you heard any of them big words he's using, the way you and Grandpap sat back there visiting twixt yourselves the whole time. It half embarrassed me to death.
Embarrassed you?
Why, sure. When you go to a big meeting of that kind, Abner, you're supposed to sit there and listen instead of whispering to your neighbor all the time.
Well, we was listening, Lum. And besides, when we did whisper, why, we was just talking about Mr. Webster.
That don't count, huh?
Why, no, that shows right there we had our mind on the meeting. That's what we was talking about.
It was embarrassing just the same.
No.
A couple of times there, Mr. Webster had to mighty shout so you two couldn't be heard over him talking.
Oh, Lum, he never done no such a thing. You know it.
Well, maybe not, but it seemed like it to me.
Well, anyway, I know that was the most wonderful speech I ever heard. I believe it was the best one that's ever been given by anybody in the whole wide world. The whole world.
Wouldn't go so far as to say that, Abner. You ain't heard all the speeches anyway.
No, I ain't heard all of them, but I've heard a lot around at picnics and stuff. These candidates running for office stump speaking. I've heard some good speakers.
Well, it was good, all right, but anybody could have give a good talk on that subject.
They could, huh?
Oh, it's easy when you got a good idea that way.
Yeah, but I just meant that I left Doggies, wait a minute. That reminds me of something. Elizabeth asked me something about Mr. Webster's speech this morning at breakfast, Lum, and I didn't know the answer. Maybe you can tell me.
Well, sure. What is it?
Well, you know that speech that he gave last night?
Yeah.
Well, now, what was it about anyway?
Is that the question you couldn't answer?
Yeah.
Well, if that don't beat the bugs of fighting.
Huh?
You mean you sat there all evening and never even knowed what Mr. Webster was talking about?
Well, now, that was the only part of it I didn't get right there. I heard everything else he said.
For pity's sake.
I was just so interested in hearing him talk. I never quite got his idea. I reckon I sort of jumped the track on him somewhere.
But you voted for it.
I know I did. That proves right there I knowed what was going on.
Yeah, but what was you voting for?
Why, well, same thing everybody else was voting for.
Yeah, but exactly what was it?
Well, I don't know, but I know of anything Mr. Webster brings up, I'm for it. I don't care what it is, I am for it.
Well, that's a fine way to vote.
Yeah, it's good, wasn't it? I walked right up there with all of them. Put my name right down there. Fact said, I was the first one to stand up. Did you notice that?
I noticed that.
Yeah.
How could I help it? It was my feet you're standing on. Trumped all over me.
Yeah, I'm a voter, all right. There ain't no one thing I enjoy more than that. Left to vote. But now, getting back to that question I asked you there, Lum, what was the main idea of the meeting?
Yeah, it would be nice if you checked up on that little bitty detail.
Yeah, I'd love to know it.
Well, to begin with, Mr. Webster found out that spring over on Grandpappy Spears' place ain't no common, ordinary run of springs. He's discovered what it's got in it.
What it's got in it?
Yeah.
Well, anybody knows that. It's got water in it.
Well, I know, but he
found that all he was talking about? Law me, big-eyed. A feller finds out that there's water in the spring.
Well, I mean, he found out what the water's got in it.
Ain't got nothing in it. There's as clean a spring of water as is in this whole community, Lum.
Yeah, but what I'm talking about is that report he gave.
Report?
Yeah, you recollect one day Mr. Webster went out to Grandpap's place and taken a little sample of that spring water. Grandpap was in here telling us about it.
Yeah, I know about that. And you mean that Mr. Webster found out that it was water?
Well, wait a minute. Don't laugh.
Huh?
He taken that sample of water and had it analyzed by some big chemist.
Chemist? What's that?
Well, a chemist is a feller...
Feller?
Well, he takes stuff and analyzes it. Like, for instance, well, like spring water.
You mean that Mr. Webster had to go to the trouble to get some special feller to tell him that water was water?
All right, Abner. Stop acting so smart.
Yeah, I ain't getting too smart, I reckon.
This chemist found out that spring water is extra special healthy.
It is?
Yes, sir. That's what the report proved.
Well, I do know. I never knowed that before. I know there's good drinking water, but I never knowed there's any different than the average run of water around here.
Well, when you stop and think of it, ever since the Spearses moved on to that place, neither Grandpap or Aunt Charity, neither one has knowed a sick day, I don't believe.
Well, they have enjoyed good health, I'll admit. Doggies, wait a minute, though. What about that time that Grandpappy Spears fell down in the potato cellar there and sprained his back? Stayed in bed for nigh a week there.
Well, that's different, though.
Different?
Drinking water wouldn't have no effect on nothing like that.
Oh, yeah. All right, Doggies, why don't we tell everybody about it then, Lum? Must be a lot of folks that'd like to know about that.
Well, we're going to. That was the whole idea of the meeting.
You mean that's what we was talking about over there last night?
Sure.
Oh?
Mr. Webster proposed a plan to where we'd develop that spring and build a great big health resort here.
For the land sakes alive.
Oh, yeah, it's a great idea. We'll have folks coming here from all over the country.
We will?
Oh, Pine Ridge is liable to get to be the best-known place in the whole world.
Doggy, that sounds good. A big health resort, huh? Is that what I was voting for last night?
Well, that's what you're supposed to be voting for.
Well, I voted for it. Good for me. Smarter than I thought I was. Doggy, looks like I sure know a good thing to vote on when I hear it, don't it?
Well, you never heard it till just now, though.
I did done it. I was over at the meeting last night, Lum. Hey, Doggies, wait a minute, though. Where are we going to get all the money to build this big health resort? Them things take money.
I know it. That's what Mr. Webster was discussing in his speech.
Oh, he was?
He outlined the plan there, and that's what we all voted on.
I couldn't keep up with it. I ought to go see him, get him to rack up and shoot again on that whole speech, I believe.
Well, he's planning to make it a community project, sort of.
Community?
Yeah, everybody will get behind it and raise money for it.
The spring?
No, for the resort. Hotel and all that business.
Oh, we're going to have a hotel, too.
Sure.
Well, good for us. Dogged, I hope I can get that bellhopping's job in it. I'd like to be one of them fellers, get to wear a union form.
Well, it'll be a good invest for everybody in the community, though, because business will pick up something wonderful here.
Why, sure it will. Oh, me alive. Folks coming in here from all over the world. Why, we'll have a big crowd in town all the time. I bet you we get to where Pine Ridge is bigger than the county seat, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, reckon how much money it's going to take altogether to build that there? Wait a minute. There comes old Grandpap. I bound you he's a happy man about all this.
Well, he ought to be. Stands to make yourself a little money off of this idea.
Why, sure. Well, now, what are they aiming on doing, Lum? Buying their spring off from Grandpap or what?
Well, that wasn't decided. That's got to be took up at a later meeting.
Oh, I see. Reckon what Aunt Charity thinks about all this. I bet she's just tickled at it. Yeah, howdy, Grandpap. Come on in.
Yeah, we just discussed in the meeting last night, Grandpap.
It was even better than I figured it was.
Oh, it was a humdinger.
Yeah.
Best pigeon-toed meeting I ever sat in on.
Oh, it was. You know, I hate to tell this on myself, Grandpap, but I just this morning found out what that was all about.
Abner, don't show your ignorance.
Well, this is a good one on me, though, Lum. I never knowed till just a few minutes ago that Mr. Webster was
Abner, you don't need to tell that. Grandpap knows what went on at the meeting. He was there. Oh, sure I was there. Good out loud talker, that Webster.
Oh, yeah. You could have knocked me over with a little feather when Lum told me that we was going to develop that spring of yours into a big health resort.
Yeah, well, I'd say that was a good develop my spring.
Yeah, I never knowed that's what we voted for.
Why, Jiminy, wait a minute. Nobody ain't going to go monkeying around that spring of mine. Well, now, Grandpap, you was there last night and you voted for this idea.
Why, sure you did.
Well, I never paid no attention to what it was for, though. I just voted for it because Abner did.
Uh-oh.
And I'll tell you this, that spring belongs to me, and any developing that's did on it, I'll do it myself. I don't want no pigeon-toed, spavined-legged, knock-kneed varmints come traipsing around.
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
All right, Doggies, Lum, I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, jot 'em down, store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, the plans proposed by Mr. B.J. Webster to develop the spring on Grandpappy Spears' farm and build a health resort were suddenly halted yesterday when Grandpap decided that no one was going to tamper with his spring or any part of his land. As we look in on the little community today, we find Lum and Abner in the Jot 'em Down store and library trying to solve this new problem. Listen.
Something this morning about coming down to the store today. What do you want to know, Furlong?
Well, I believe I got an idea where he can help us talk Grandpappy Spears into that plan of Mr. Webster's.
You mean that plan about developing the spring on Grandpappy's place and building that health resort?
Yeah.
Oh.
Grandpap's holding up the whole deal, you know.
Yeah.
If we can get him to change his mind, Mr. Webster never will get done thanking us for it.
Well, I don't much think Papa can help change Grandpappy Spears' mind on. Fact says, I don't think nobody can. I talked to him myself for a couple of hours here yesterday, but it never done no good at all, not a bit of good.
I know. I talked to him myself last night, but never got nowhere. Just like arguing with a stump on fire.
Oh, yeah. There's a stubborn-headed feller. Stubborn as a blue-nosed mule, that Grandpap.
But I think your papa can make him change his tune.
Well, change his tune.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think Papa can make them things, Lum.
Don't think he can make them things?
Yeah.
What are you talking about anyway?
Make them music rolls for a player piano, punch them holes in them. Papa don't know nothing about that.
Well, what's that got to do with him arguing with Grandpap?
You said that you was going to get him to change Grandpappy Spears' tune.
I don't mean on the player piano.
That's the only thing he can play. He acts like he's actually playing a piano, moves his fingers over it long, but it's that air coming through them holes in that paper thing. That's what makes the music.
I know how them things works. I'm talking about Grandpap's tune, not the pioneer's tune.
Grandpap?
Sure.
Well, Grandpappy Spears ain't got no tune. It's that pioneer, Lum.
Not his...
Papa gets to punching holes around in that thing. He'll ruin it. You know him.
I ain't talking about that. I mean make him change his mind.
Grandpappy Spears?
Yeah.
Oh, I doubt that, Lum. Facts is, I think Papa'd be the worst one feller we could get to try to talk Grandpappy Spears into anything. You know yourself everything Papa says that Grandpap is agin it right now, you know.
I know that.
I've heard Grandpappy Spears come out in favor of something just as strong as anything at all. And then switch right around and be agin it when he found out my Papa was in favor of it.
Well, that's the idea I was aiming on using.
Huh?
We're going to use a little psychology on Grandpap.
Uh-oh. We're going to use that stuff again. We might as well just forget the whole health resort idea right here and now.
Oh, no, now this'll work, though. See, what I'm aiming to do is have your Papa agree with Grandpap instead of argue with him.
You mean, agree with Grandpap about that spring of his?
Yeah. See, we'll have him tell Grandpap that he's doing the right thing by not letting Mr. Webster and all of us develop that spring and build the health resort.
Well, now, that's a fine idea to go putting in Grandpap's head. After we spent all this time trying our best to talk him out of it.
But don't you see, Abner, when your Papa tells him that, why, it'll be just like you said. Grandpap will switch right over to the other side.
Oh, hot doggies, that's right. He will, won't he?
Why, sure.
Well, now, say, I believe you have got a good idea there this time, Lum.
Well, of course I have. One thing I will admit about myself, I do have a set of brains up there in my coronium.
Hello, me, up where?
In my coronium. Up in my head.
Oh, I was going to say that.
Reckon what time your Papa will get down here?
Oh, I don't know. I thought he'd be here by now, surely. He must have stopped all summers to pass a time of day somebody sitting there visiting with him.
I hope he hurries, because we got to tell him what to say before Grandpap gets here.
Is Grandpap coming over here at the store?
Yeah, I seen him down by the barber shop this morning. I asked him to drop by here later on today.
Oh.
See, I sort of had this plan in mind then.
Well, here, maybe I better go out and hunt for Papa then. Get him over here. I don't know where to start looking, old Almy. He could be any place, wandering around town somewhere.
Yeah, might be over at the blacksmith. Oh, why don't you call over to Dick Huddleston's store? He hangs around there quite a bit lately.
That might be a good idea. Save me a trip, too. Let's see now, 2 longs and a short. Believe that's Dick's ring, ain't it?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yes, sir, try that anyway.
While you're hunting for your Papa, I'll be back in the feed room, start opening them stuff that come in from the wholesale house this morning.
Yeah, all right. I'll help you just quick as I get down. Hello? Is this you, Dick? This is Abner Peabody. Oh, tolerably well, I reckon. How's yourself, Dick? Well, yeah, that's good. Is Pop over there? Has he been? Uh-huh. Well, if he comes in there... doggies, wait a minute, Dick. Here he comes right now. Just hold the phone.
Hey, ooh-wee. Why, Ginger, it's a hot one today.
Yeah, you're just in time, Papa. I was just calling for you here.
It sure is a hot... call for me, huh? Wonder who that... here, I'll take it. Who is it?
It's Dick Huddleston.
Who?
Dick Huddleston.
Here.
Yeah.
Hello, Dick. Yeah, this is Finance Peabody. How's that? There is, huh? Well, tell him to hold the phone. I'll be right over there. Goodbye.
Well, here, wait a minute, Papa. Where are you going here?
Over to Dick's place. Dick says somebody's calling for me over there.
Yeah, all right, but hurry back now, because we... wait a minute.
Who that could...
Come back here, Papa. That was me calling. Doggies, I thought something was wrong here. I couldn't quite figure out what it was for a minute there, though.
What's the matter with you? Well, let me get this here here straight now, son. If you was calling me, what did Dick Huddleston want for me?
He was calling, let's see now. I called over there.
That's your papa's voice I hear, Abner.
Yeah, come on in here, Lum, and tell him your ID.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe I better call Dick Huddleston back.
No, now, Papa, just sit down now. That's all straight
now.
Son? Just sit down here in this chair now.
Oh,
yeah, make yourself comfort there, Mr. Peabody. How are you feeling today?
Oh, right perch.
We wanted to get you over here, Papa. We wanted to get you over here to talk to Grandpappy Spears.
Milford Spears?
Yeah.
Why, sure, I'd love to talk to him. Where's he at?
Well, see, he ain't here yet, Papa.
No, he'll be here directly, Mr. Peabody. And when he gets here, we want you to agree with him on his altitude towards this spring development and health resort over there on his place.
You know that plan that Mr. Webster was pre-posing about that spring over on Grandpappy Spears' place?
B.J. you mean?
Yeah,
B.J.
Yeah.
He's a nice feller. I like him.
Yeah. Well, let's don't go into that right now. That'll take hours. But don't let Grandpap know that you like him.
Huh?
You make out like you think Grandpap's doing right by not taking up with Mr. Webster's idea.
Yeah, and if Grandpap starts changing over to the other side, Papa, well, don't you pay no attention to it now. You just do like we say now.
Yeah, but, I'd hate to see Milford change his mind, though. I think he's got the right slant on this thing.
You do?
Yes, I do. I know I wouldn't want to bat you folks and foreigners traipsing all over my property.
Well, that's good. That's good. You just stick to that, too.
Yes, sir.
Looks like this is working easier than I figured it would.
Yeah, that's a thing for you to do. You just tell Grandpap that when he comes in. Just
sure.
Tell him that you agree with him.
I'll tell him.
Tell him not to listen to nobody.
You recollect what you're supposed to do, don't you, Mr. Peabody?
Sure. I'm good at... Sure, I got it.
Just be a wait a minute. There comes Grandpap up on the porch. Hurry up. Everybody get ready now.
Yeah.
Find out.
Yeah. It's just you talking about...
Howdy,
Grandpap.
Milford.
Come on in here.
Yeah, come on.
Come on, take that chair there, Get up, Lum. Give Grandpap that chair. Let him sit down.
Now, be more careful what you say.
Milford.
Papa wants to talk to you.
Milford, you're absolutely right, Milford.
Yeah, that's the time,
Yes,
Papa.
sir.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes, sir, I say you're absolutely right. I'd do the same thing if I was in your shoes, Milford.
Yeah, you listen to Papa now.
Now, what are you jabbering about anyway there, Finest?
Why, that's spring over on your place, Grandpa.
Yes, sir. Don't you let them take that away from you, Milford. Don't let them build no resorts over there.
You think I oughtn't to do it, huh, Finest?
No, sir.
I don't know. Maybe you're wrong, Finest.
It's working, Lum. It's working.
No, sir, you might be wrong, Finest. Mr. Webster, he said last night...
What do you care what Mr. Webster said? It's your land. It ain't his'n.
I know it's my land, but Mr. Webster finding out some good arguments.
I say it's liable not to be yours much longer if when you go around listening to every Tom, Dick, and Harry that comes to town. Now, you just...
Of course, now, if a feller could make himself a little money off a deal like this, maybe he ought to do it.
How do you know you'll make money off of it, Tully? And don't forget this. That land of yours will do you a lot more good than money ever will. Now, I've always said that. Land is...
Yes, sir.
Land is...
I don't know. Maybe you're right, Finest.
Why, sure. You listen to Papa, Grandpa.
You bet your life I'm right as rain. Now, don't you...
Yes, sir. That land's all I got. Now, better not take no chances on losing it.
Well, now, here, wait a minute now, Grandpap.
Nobody said you was going to lose your land.
Why, of course not. Who's been
you
telling
two
you
fellas
that?
keep out of this. Finest knows what he's talking about. I'm glad I discussed this with him, too.
Yeah, but listen, Grandpap.
Hadn't it been for Finest, I'd have made an awful mistake.
Oh.
I was just over talking to Mr. Webster, and do you know, that varmint talked me right smack into going in on his pigeon-toed plan.
He did?
Yes, sir. But Finest set me straight again. Finest, old boy, you're a true friend if ever I seen one.
Well, here, now, wait a minute, Grandpap. Now, where are you going? Come back
time
here.
to wait. I got to get over and tell Mr. Webster the deal's off once and for all.
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
I doggies, Lum, I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, Jot 'em Down store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, Lum thought he had a plan that would induce Grandpappy Spears to go in on Mr. Webster's health resort project. But once again, Lum's ideas on psychology failed to work out, and now Grandpap is more determined than ever to keep his spring out of any promotion scheme. As we're looking on the little community today, we find the old fellows in their Jot 'em Down store and library discussing this problem. With
Lord, me, I can't think of no other way to get Grandpap to change his mind, Lum.
Well, study hard.
Well, you know Grandpap, Lum. He's got his head set, and when it's set, it is S-A-T, set. He's just bound and determined that Mr. Webster ain't going to develop that spring on his place. That's all there are to it.
Well, it's sort of up to us to change Grandpap's mind, though. Special after what happened yesterday.
Yeah, well, what did happen yesterday?
Well, you know, you was here.
Yeah, I was here.
After Mr. Webster talked him into it, your papa talked him out of it again.
Well, Papa was just doing what you told him to do, Lum. It was your idea, not his'n.
Yeah, but it never worked out like I figured it would.
Well, I told you not to use none of that psychology stuff on him.
Well, psychology was all right. Only trouble was neither your papa nor Grandpap knows what psychology's all about. That's where I made my mistake.
Yeah, well, I tried to tell you. Wait a minute. There comes Cedric. Maybe he's got some idea how to change Grandpap's mind.
Oh, I doubt that. Cedric ain't exactly been knowed as a feller for ideas of no kind.
Well, he might have one, Lum. So, he's reckon what that little black box is he's carrying with him there.
Black box?
Yeah. Oh, I see. It's just his Kodak.
Oh.
Must be going out Kodaking.
I reckon where you got the films for it.
No telling.
Them things are hard to get now.
Yeah, well, maybe he's just trying to get some. I know we ain't got none here at the store.
Wonderful world.
Yeah, howdy, Cedric. Come in.
Hello, Mr. Abner. Howdy, Mr. Lum.
Hello, Cedric.
You-
Cedric, why don't you quit saying wonderful world? I'm getting tired of hearing that.
Why, it's all right,
Well, I
Lum.
thought we were supposed to say it.
No, that's all right, Cedric. Don't let Lum tease you about that. That's a good altitude to have. Everything's wonderful. The world's fine. That's nice.
That's what I thought.
Why, sure. You just keep saying it if you want to. Don't pay no attention to Lum.
I'm tired of hearing it. Still say it.
You been out Kodaking today, Cedric?
No, Mom.
You haven't. What you carrying your Kodak for, then?
Yes, Mom.
Well, I was wondering what you was doing with that little black Kodak there, carrying it around.
Couldn't see where you was looking.
Oh, well, if you're looking for films, I can tell you right now, we ain't got none in stock, Cedric.
You might try down at the drugstore. Ed Beckley generally has quite a few on hand. Leastways he used to.
Yeah.
I got the last one he had down there, though. Fact is, I got it in the Camry right now.
Well, you're all fixed up then, Cedric.
Yes, Mom. Only trouble is, though, I think I've ruined most of them already.
Ruin them.
Yes, Mom. See, I was trying to get a picture of myself, and I fixed up a long string on that little clicker thing. And
Where, Cedric?
Right there.
That
thing right
here.
there.
Uh-huh.
I set the Camry on a fence post, and then I'd get around in front of it and smile.
Well, you smile, huh?
Yes, Mom, I smiled pretty.
Well, and then what?
Well, and then I'd pull a string
Oh.
while I was grinning.
Yeah, I see. Taking your own pictures that way, huh? Doggy, that was pretty smart thinking, Cedric.
Oh, thank you, Mom.
See there, Lum, I told you Cedric had ideas.
Oh, I sure do. Only trouble is, though, every time I pulled the string, I yanked the camera clean off from the fence post.
Oh.
I might have got my shoes in a couple of the pictures, but that's about all.
Yeah, it's a lucky thing you had your good shoes on, Cedric. Be ashamed to waste films on them old tennis shoes you generally wear.
Wait a minute. You mean you ruined a whole roll of film that way?
No, Mom. There's still one picture left in it. But I want you fellers to take it for me.
Yeah, I believe that's a better idea, Cedric. No use in ruining that good film there in your last picture there, particular.
No, Mom.
I know what we can do. Lum, you take the picture, and I'll get in it, too. Sit down there in that chair, and I'll put my hand on his shoulder, you know.
Well, I sort of rather you wouldn't be in it, Mr. Abner. I like you all right. I like you good, but I'd rather you wouldn't be in the picture.
Well, I don't know what's the matter with me. I Kodak good, Cedric.
Yes, Mom, but this is for something special. It's sort of romantics, I think.
romantics.
Yes, Mom. See, I want to give it to Clarabelle so she can take it to war with her.
Oh, well, take it to war?
Yes, Mom. Clarabelle's joining the army.
Well,
going in the wax.
For the land sakes alive. Do you hear that, Lum? Clarabelle Seastrunk is joining the wax.
Yeah, I know. I've done heard about him. Proud to hear it, too.
Oh, that is fine.
She's doing a good thing there.
Yes, she is.
I understand there's a big need for them girls in the army now.
Yeah, I've heard that, too. I sure have.
Yeah, but I wish she wouldn't go.
Huh?
I'm just going to miss her something wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
I'll just sit here at home and think back about them wonderful times her and Gomer and sometimes me had.
Sometimes you.
Yes, Mom. Them were the times I liked the best, the times I got to go along with them.
Yeah, I reckon you will miss all that, Cedric. But don't forget, this is a war.
Yeah, and Clarabelle's just the kind of a girl they want in the wax. She's about the right age, and she ain't working in no essentials industry.
Yeah, she's smart, too. And look pretty as a speckled pup in one of them fancy uniforms he'll wear.
Oh, yeah. On top of that, she's doing a good patriotic deed.
Why, sure.
I know if I was a young girl, I'd do the same thing.
I would, too. I'd rush right down and enlist. You see myself now, marching down the street in my coat with the gold buttons on it, my little skirt just a-flapping in the... wait a minute, I don't wear skirts, so...
Of course you don't, silly.
What's the matter with me?
Well, you fellas going to take this picture of me or not?
Why, sure
we'll stand there and talk about the wax all day.
No, we'll take it. I forgot about that. Got a picture of myself in that uniform.
I got to get it taken in a hurry because Clarabelle's leaving in a day or so.
Yeah, well, we'll take it right now.
Got to get it developed.
Yeah, let's see now.
I think that's what they call it.
Where'd be a good place for you to stand, Cedric?
Why don't you just stand right in front of that sign there, Cedric?
Which one?
The one telling about our special summer sale.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Help advertise the sale.
Why, sure.
Yeah, stand right there, Cedric, right by that sign.
About right here, you mean?
Yeah, that'll be fine. All right, smile good now. Look pretty, Cedric.
Wait a minute. Could you stoop down a little, Cedric? Your head's covering up part of the sign there.
Oh, yes, Mom. Is this better now?
Just a minute. Let me look through the Kodak here. No, a little more, Cedric. A little more. Down a little lower. Let's see. Yeah, that's better.
Can you see the whole sign in there now, Abner?
Yeah, I can see the whole thing now. Good. Wait a minute. Where's Cedric? Cedric!
I'm down here. Here I am.
Oh, no.
I'll get my shoes in it again, I see.
I look into the Kodak here. I thought you'd walked out on me. Well, raise up a little bit, Cedric. We want to get you in this, too, if we can.
Yes, Mom. How's this?
Yeah,
well, I'd turn around and face this direction if I was you, Cedric.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's the matter with me, anyway?
Yeah, now I can see you. Wait a minute, though. I believe I got a better idea.
Well, just take the picture and tell me your idea some other time, Mr. Abner. My back's killing me all bent over this way.
Yeah, I just happened to think of something, though, Cedric. If this here picture's going to somebody in the army, why, then it must be one of them, what do you call them things? Them, pinned up pictures?
Mom.
Them things are all the rage now. All the soldiers has got pinned up pictures.
It ain't pinned up pictures, Abner. It's pin-up pictures.
Well, whatever it is. Cedric's one of them now. He's the pin-up boy of Pine Ridge.
Well, good for me, boy.
You know, what you really ought to do, Cedric, is get your swimsuit on.
Swimsuit?
Get your bath jacket.
Well, I ain't going swimming. I'm just going to have my picture took.
Yeah, well, that's the idea, Cedric. We're going to take your picture in your swimsuit. That's the way all them pin-up pictures are took, I think.
Well, I don't think mine would do very good, though. The moths ate most of it away.
Oh, they did, huh? Oh, doggies, that's too bad. Wait a minute. You can wear a long swimsuit. That ought to fit you.
Reckon it would?
Why, sure. And it'd be sort of comical, too, Cedric.
Comical? What do you mean by that?
Oh, nothing wrong.
What's so comical about my swimsuit?
I don't know.
Well, what's wrong with it?
Well, it's all right, I reckon. If you like it, why, suits me all right. Just a little ragged around the knees is all.
It is not ragged.
It is, darn it. One leg of it's unraveled clean up to the third or fourth stripe long.
I had that fixed. And the shoulders darn too. It's as good as the day I sent away for it.
Well, why don't we run over and get it then?
Never mind, Mr. Abner. I just as lief not wear it.
Huh?
Well, why not? What's the matter with it?
Well, I don't know. Just something about it. You tell him, Mr. Abner.
Well, it's, well, maybe you're right, Cedric.
Yes, Mom. I'd rather be Kodak just like I am, I think.
Yeah, I don't much blame you. Well, Just go ahead and take it. Get ready now. Smile, Cedric. Look pretty.
Yes, Mom.
Let's see now. Let me look down through here. That's our time. Hold steady now, Cedric. Here we go. Doggies, wait a minute. How do you work this thing?
Here, just push down on her. Let's see. Never seen one just like this before.
Yeah, I know it ain't this thing here, 'cause I done tried that. Cedric, how do you work this thing here?
Here, I'll show you.
Yeah, sure. We don't want to ruin your last picture here.
See here, you just take it like this, and you look down through this little glass thing till you see what you're taking a picture of, and then you get it focused right.
Focused?
Yes, Mom.
Huh?
You stand over there, Mr. Abner, so as I can tell if I got it focused right.
Yeah, sure. You want to make this a good one, Cedric.
That's right, Mr. Abner. Now, see here, Mr. Lum, you look right down in there, and then you click this little thing right here, like this, see? That's all there are to it.
Well, that sounds easy. Now, here, give me the Kodak, Cedric. Now, take
Wait a minute, Cedric. You idiot. You've done taken the picture. And Abner's in it instead of you.
Huh?
Mom? Uh-oh. Does that mean I got to give Clarabelle a picture of Mr. Abner?
Oh, my goodness alive. Don't tell Elizabeth.
Tell her what?
Well, don't you see? I'm the new pin-up boy for the wax.
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
Aye, Doggies Lum, I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, jot 'em down, store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down at Pine Ridge. Well, Grandpappy Spears is still holding up the plans for the proposed health resort by refusing to sell or lease the spring on his property. And as we look in on the little community today, we find Lum and Abner in their jot-em-down store and library. Lum is asking his partner about a certain phone call. Listen.
Mr. Webster called, you mean?
Yeah.
When was that?
Oh, a little bit ago. He was back there in the feed room, I believe, when he called.
Well, why didn't you call me?
Well, he never asked for you in particular, Lum.
Oh, well, what did he want?
Well, he wants us to come to another meeting tonight. Say they're going to go ahead with his health resort. They're going to form up a company or something like that.
Form up a company?
I believe that's what he said, yeah.
Well, how can they do that without Grandpap?
Huh?
The spring belongs to Grandpappy Spears, and you can't have the health resort without the spring.
Oh, well, Mr. Webster said that Grandpap's going in on it now.
He is?
Yeah, that's what he said.
Well, I thought he was dead set against it.
Well, he was, but Mr. Webster talked him into it, I reckon.
Well, I do know. Yeah. I wonder how in the world he done that.
Yeah, he never said. Just told us to be at the meeting tonight, 'cause they're going to get everything started now, he said.
Granny, that's the first time I ever knowed Grandpappy Spears to change his mind.
Yeah, well, he must have did it.
Oh, ordinary, you can't argue with him at all.
Oh, no, just like arguing with the stump on fire. Yeah.
Well, sir, that is good news. Good news. I just feared Grandpap had ruined the whole deal for good.
Yeah, well, I guess everything's all set. I reckon how soon we can start building that resort, Lum?
I don't know.
And the hotel, that's what I'm interested in. I reckon where I can get me one of them there bellhopping uniforms.
Well, I wouldn't worry about that now, Abner. You don't even know yet if you're going to be a bellhop.
Well, I'm going to put my name in for it. There's something I've always wanted to be. I hope I can get me one of them little red coats to wear and one of them little caps without no bill on it.
Well, there's a lot more important things to take up than red coats or bills with caps on.
What?
Well, you got to have the election of officers for one thing.
Oh, that.
That's more likely the first thing they'll take up at that meeting tonight.
Doggies, I hope I get elected bellhop. That's what I hope.
Well, you don't get elected bellhop.
What do you get, appointed?
No, you get hired.
I do? Well, good for me. When do I start?
Well, wait a minute. We got to build a hotel first. You can't go bellhopping around an empty field.
Well, let's get it built then. I'm ready to hop any time.
Well, we got to raise the money for it first.
Oh.
Before we can do that, we got to elect a president to appoint a money-raising committee.
Yeah, reckon you're right. I forgot about them little details.
I think I know a good man they can get for that president's job, too.
You do?
Yeah, a fella that could run the company like it ought to be run.
Well, who's that, Lum?
Well, sort of hard for me to mention my own name.
Well, you don't have to mention your name. I know what it is. That ain't what I asked you. I said, who's this feller that make the company such a good president?
Well, you're looking at him right now.
I am? Where is he? Only feller I can see in here is you.
That's him.
Huh?
Him's me. I'm the best man I could think of for that job. I hate to brag on myself this way, but
well, why do you keep doing it then?
I ain't bragging. I'm just stating facts, that's all.
Huh?
I can't help it if I'm gifted.
Huh?
It ain't my fault that I got a natural talent for being president of different things.
Well, I just thought Mr. Webster'd be the president of this outfit. His ID, this health resort and all, he's the one that thought of it.
No, he can't be president though unless he gets elected to it. And you gotta reckon with the people on that. They're gonna vote for the best man regardless.
Yeah, that's what I say. I thought Mr. Webster'd be the president of it.
Well, when I said the best man, I never had him in mind though.
You never?
I was thinking about the people's choice. Pine Ridge's favorite son. And you know who that is.
I see now. How many guesses do I get?
Abner, you know as well as I do that I'm Pine Ridge's favorite son. I've always said that. I mean, well, other folks is always saying it.
That's peculiar. I never heard nobody say that.
You just don't get around to the right places, that's all.
Well, what are the right places? Where do they say that? Who says it, Long?
Abner, just don't bother with it. I'm too modest to talk about such things as that.
Oh, excuse me.
It embarrasses me to death to hear how good I am. That's why you're going to have to nominate me at the meeting tonight.
Nominate you? What for?
Well, for president of the company, natural. Wouldn't look right for me to nominate myself. That'd look like I thought I was as good as I actually am.
But you ain't, huh?
No. Wait a minute. What I mean is, I'm the man for the job, but I don't believe it myself.
Well.
I got an under-inferiority complex. My biggest trouble.
Is that your trouble?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's why you're going to have to practical shove me into the president's job.
Shove you into it?
Yeah.
Push you mean?
Railroad me right into the job. Force me to take it.
Well, Lum, I don't want to force you into it. If you don't actually want it, why, just say so.
I've got to take it, though. This ain't no time to think about myself. I've got to think of the good of the company. Got to do it for them.
Yeah, but now, Lum...
I'm willing to sacrifice myself to the cause.
Yeah, but, Lum, I hate to get you into something that you don't want to do, though.
I'm willing to do it, though.
I'd never forgive myself for it. I'd get to hating and despise me for doing such a thing.
No, you wouldn't, Abner. Because you'd be doing a great thing for the company.
Yeah, but I'd always have my own consciousness to think of. Here I am, supposed to be your good friend. What do? Shove you into a little old job that you can't hardly stand.
Well, now, wait a minute,
It'd
Abner.
be just like stabbing you in the back, might now, Lum. No, I just couldn't do a mean, low-down, ornery trick
Well,
like
Abner, I don't
myself.
exactly hate the job, hardly.
Oh, yes, you do now. You said it, and I know you meant it, Lum. Yeah, and I just ain't going to be the one to push you into it. You meant too much to me.
Yeah,
I recollect times when you loaned me money, sat up with me when I was sick, cut my hair when my woman was out of town. Could I turn on you now? No. K-N-O-W, no.
Abner,
I could not.
you wouldn't be turning on me. I sort of want that job.
Oh, you're just saying that, Lum. Trying to make me feel good, but I ain't going to do it. I'm going to stick by you, old friend.
Abner, will you listen to me for half a second? I want to be president of the company the worst way.
You do?
Yeah, you forced me to admit it.
What'd you say you never wanted for then?
Well, I just thought it'd look better that way. Everybody demanding that I take the office because I'm such a big, popular favorite. But I can see right now I might as well give up that idea.
Well, do you want the job or don't you want it?
Of course I do, and I want you to help me with my campaign.
Your campaign? I'm going to nominate you at the meeting. Ain't that enough?
Just nominating me ain't going to get me elected. I got to have a lot of votes for that. And I ain't got much time left to get them, neither.
Well, I know you ain't, not long as the meeting's going to be held tonight.
I'll tell you, the first thing you can do is carry a sign when you're out making the delivers today.
Carry a sign?
Yeah. I believe one of them sandwich signs would be good.
Sandwich sign? What are you doing, running for office or starting up a lunch counter?
No, I ain't starting up no lunch counter, no.
Well, where are you going to sell the sandwiches at, then? At the meeting, you mean, to make yourself a little extra money?
Oh, for Pete's
Don't get long, I'll have to hand it to you. You do have a head for business, all right.
Abner, I ain't going to sell no sandwiches.
Just going to give them away? Oh, I see. You're going to get votes that way, huh? What kind of sandwiches you aiming on making? Peanut butter's all as nice.
Abner, I ain't aiming on making no peanut butter sandwiches nor no other kind.
You ain't?
Of course not.
Well, what are you advertising sandwiches for then?
I ain't. That's part of my campaign.
Well, that's the cutest campaign I ever heard of. What are you trying to do, Lum? Make everybody think you're out of work and you have to sell sandwiches for a living? And then they'll feel sorrowful for you and vote you into this new job?
Oh, for goodness sake, course not.
Huh?
A sandwich sign don't advertise sandwiches, Abner. It just means it's a double sign.
A double sign, huh?
No. Like that and Dick Husband's got standing out in front of his store with specials on it.
Huh?
Only I want you to carry it. Or wear it, I reckon you'd say.
Wear it?
Yeah. That way you have a sign in front of you and one in back.
Huh?
That's where they get the name of sandwich. You're sandwiched in between the signs. And they'll both say, vote for Lum for company president. Good old Lum. All such as that.
No, but I'm going to look awful comical wearing a couple of signs around town.
Well, you wear your regular suit under it, of course.
Oh, well, I was going to say.
Well, never mind what she's going to say. Another thing, I want Cedric and Mousy Gray and a few others to get some more signs about me and wave them at the meeting tonight.
Wave sign?
Let's elect Lum and stuff like that.
Oh, just wave them, huh?
No, that's all. Just wave them.
Oh.
See, right after you nominate me, I want you fellas to start a demonstrate for me. Wave the signs and holler and whistle and stomp your feet and everything.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Wave your hats in the air, start up the band, march by the speaker stand,
Oh,
delegation from Idaho.
You ain't going to be here,
Potatoes
too?
by and show everybody, and the fellers from Wyoming wave their 10-gallon hats.
Well, good. Wait a minute. There comes Grandpappy Spears up out there. We can get him in on this, too.
Yeah, he'll be a good one to get.
I don't think he can whistle, but he can sure holler when he puts his mind to it and stomp his feet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, howdy. Hey, come on in here, Grandpap. Lum wants you to carry a sign and stomp your feet at the meeting tonight.
Stomp my feet?
Yeah, we're going to put on a big demonstrate for Lum there.
Oh, well, that sounds interesting. Going to do it at the business meeting with Mr. Webster, you mean, huh?
Yeah, you're going, ain't you, Grandpap?
Oh, sure, I got to. See, I'm president of the company now.
Well, that's fine then. Huh?
Wait a minute. Did you say you was president of the company? Yeah, see, I made up my mind I weren't going in on that health resort idea, but Mr. Webster said I could be president of the company if I'd come in on it. So I decided to do her.
Well, good for you, Grandpap.
Yeah, I'm going to do it. Now then, Lum, what's all this about a demonstrate? Oh, nothing, Grandpap, nothing at all. Just forget it. Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
Hi, Doggy Lum. I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, jot 'em down, store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down at Pine Ridge. Well, the plans for developing the spring on Grandpappy Spears' place and building a health resort were renewed yesterday when Grandpap was finally talked into the use of his spring in exchange for the presidency of the company. As we look in on the little community today, we find Abner in the Jot 'em Down store and library trying to explain the whole setup to Cedric. Listen.
Well, just what are all these meetings about anyways, Mr. Abner?
Well, see, what we're going to do, Cedric, is build a great big health resort and a hotel over on Grandpappy Spears' place and put Pine Ridge on the map.
Well, ain't Pine Ridge on the map, though?
Well, yeah, it's on there, Cedric, but see, it's just a little bitty dot's all it is. We want to make it a great big town to where folks can't help but see it.
Oh, well, give me the map. I'll make a great big dot on it, and you won't have to go all that bother with yourself.
Well, Cedric, wouldn't help to just dot one map, and you couldn't find all the maps there is in the world and put a dot on them.
No, Mom.
Make a big town out of it, and them map companies will make a big dot when they make them. That's the handiest way, I believe.
Yes, Mom. But how can Mr. Grandpap afford to build a big hotel, though?
Well, he ain't going to do it himself. The town's going to raise the money to build it.
Well, can't they find a better place to build it besides Mr. Grandpap's farm?
Well, they got to build it over there on account of that spring of his'n.
That spring?
See, Mr. Webster taken a sample of that water one day and had some chemist feller analyze it. They claim now that it's awful healthy water to drink or something like that. I don't understand just all about it myself, Cedric.
How do they annualize it, reckon?
Cedric, I don't know. All I know is that Mr. Webster formed a company last night to run the whole outfit.
Is that what you done at that meeting last night?
Yeah. And Grandpap Spears is president of the company.
Mr. Grandpap,
Yeah.
I always thought Mr. Lum was president of everything.
Well, he generally is. Fact is, he thought he was going to be president of this company, too, but see, Mr. Webster had to let Grandpap have that job. That was the only way he could talk him into letting him develop that spring.
Oh.
You oughta saw Lum's face when he found that out, too, Cedric.
Was he unhappy?
Oh, he never liked it one bit. Of course, I believe he feels better today, though. Of course, Mr. Webster appointed him head of some committee. Supposed to plan how to build a hotel or the health resort or something like that.
You mean he's going to draw some pictures of it?
I don't know exactly what he's going to do, Cedric. All I know is he went over to discuss it with Mr. Webster this morning. I reckon he'll know more when he gets back.
Oh, well, say, when they get the hotel built, do you reckon I could get a room there?
Well, what do you want a room for, Cedric? You got a room over at your own place.
Well, the insurance company sort of wants me to move, I think.
Insurance company?
Yes, Mom. Every 3 months when my premiums come due, they keep sending me a little hints about it.
For the land's sake. What kind of hint, Cedric?
Well, they always put a little card in there telling me to change my address. It's got dotted lines on it where I'm supposed to write down my new address and send it back to them.
Oh, well, Cedric, now, I don't think that means you actually have to move, though.
Well, what do they keep sending them to me for, then? I'm feared if I don't change my address pretty soon, they're going to get mad at me and take my insurance policy away from me.
Oh, they wouldn't do that, Cedric. See, the whole idea is that if you do change your address... wait a minute, there comes Lum.
Well, I hate to make the company mad, though. They've been so nice to me. Every year, Mr. Benefit sends me a calendar.
Who does?
Mr. Benefit. He's the owner of the company, I think. Mr. Mitchell Benefit or something like that.
Oh, I've heard of that feller. Yeah, wait a minute. Yeah, howdy, Lum.
Oh, howdy, AP.
Huh?
How are you there, CW?
Mom?
What are you talking that way about, Lum? What's all this AC and PW stuff? You working for the government now?
No, and I'd rather you wouldn't call me Lum no more, neither.
Well, that's your name, ain't it?
Well, yeah, but it's sort of a custom amongst us big business executives to refer to one another by our initials.
What's the matter? Can't you recollect your name?
Well, sure, we can recollect them all right. We just use our initials to save time, I think.
Huh?
We're all so busy, you know.
Yeah, huh?
You take fellas like BJ and LE and FDR. And
who's that, LE?
That's me, natural.
Oh.
Now, AP, I don't want you and CW bothering me because I got a lot of work to do here. I got to hire an architect and a batch of other junk.
Yeah, well, we won't bother you none long. LE. Yeah, come on, let's get up a game of checkers here, CW.
Mom?
That's you, Cedric. You're CW now, according to LE here.
Oh, well, good for me. Glad to hear that. Maybe I ought to call up and tell that to P&M.
P&M? Who's that?
Papa and Mama.
Oh, well, I reckon you can wait and tell them when you get home, Cedric. Or CW.
I told you to hash because I've got a lot of work to do here.
Yeah, I'm sorry, LE. Be quiet, CW.
I'm expecting a long-distance call, and when he comes in, I don't want to be interrupted. You understand, AP?
Yeah, sure. Who are you expecting a long-distance call from?
Fella into county seat. J.W. Dobbs, his name is. JWD.
Oh.
He's a fella I'm going to try to hire for that architect's job.
Is he in that line of work?
Well, he used to be, I know.
Oh.
He ain't done much of it in the last few years. That's why I figured we could get him pretty cheap.
Pretty cheap, huh?
Yeah, the fact is, when I told BJ about him this morning, he had me get right on the phone and call him up.
Well, what'd he say? Is he going to do it?
Well, I don't know. I never got to talk to him. All I could do was just leave a name and have him call me back.
What, do you think you can get him, Lum? Or LE?
Oh, I know we can. Best part of it is we can get him for a song.
Yeah, well, I don't get it. For a song?
Yeah, and I know that part of it will please Mr. Webster, or BJ, I mean.
What, does he like singing?
Who?
BJ. Didn't you say you was going to get that Dobbs feller down here to sing?
Oh, I see. No, I said we could get him for a song.
Well, that's what I thought you said. I'd love to hear him. What kind of singing does he do?
I don't know what kind of singing he does.
Well, you ought to find out long as you're going to hire him. Don't you think so, CW?
Mom? What's that, Mr. AP?
I said if LE's aiming on hiring that Dobbs feller to sing for Mr. Webster...
I ain't hiring him to sing for Mr. Webster.
Well, who's he going to sing for? Oh, you mean the folks at the Health Resort Hotel he's going to sing there, huh?
No, he ain't going to sing for nobody. I'm hiring him to draw up the plans for the hotel.
Yeah, I know that, but I thought you said you was hiring him to sing, too. That's why I thought you figured you was getting such a good bargain in him.
No, Abner, you got that all mixed up. I was just using an old lettered saying. I said we could hire him for a song and sing it ourselves.
Sing it ourselves? You never said that before now.
Well, I know I never, but that's the way the whole thing goes.
Sing it ourselves, huh?
Yeah.
Well, that sounds pretty silly to me. What's used to hire a fella to come down here and sing if we're going to do the singing ourselves?
Oh, for goodness sakes, you still got it mixed up.
Dogged, I'll admit I'm mixed up somewhere here. I don't know now who's going to do the singing, him or us or who. Of course, now, if it'll help you to have us sing, why, we'd be glad to do it. Wouldn't we, C.W.?
Yes, Mom, we can sing good. I can sing alto good.
Yes, sir, you're all right. We can harmonize good on that. They cut down the old pine tree. You want to try it once, too, Cedric?
Yes, Mom, let's go.
Yeah. Oh, they cut down the old pine tree, and they hold it away to
Goodness sakes, will you two hash up?
Well, we're just trying to help you out, Ellie.
If you'll just hash up for a half a second, I'll try to explain this to you.
Oh.
All I meant was that this Mr. Dobbs is more than likely so anxious to get some work again that we can hire him cheap and name our own price. In other words, hire him for a song and sing it ourselves.
All right, Doggy, that's cheap enough. We better do it then if we can.
Well, that was my views on it.
Oh, you're exactly right. There ain't no ifs and ands about it. He's the feller.
No sense in paying him a big, high salary if we don't have to.
Why, of course not. Not a bit in the world.
Be silly not to try it anyway.
Why, sure it would. It would. If he's that desperate for a job that he'll work just to come down here and...
Wait a minute, Abner. There goes B.J. across the street. I want to rush over and ask him a question.
Well, wait a minute, Tolan. What if that Dobbs feller calls up here?
Oh, well, I'll be right back. I want to catch B.J. before he gets away.
Well, all right. Look at old Omron there. I ain't seen him in a dog trot in years. Look at him.
Sort of looks like a windmill that broke loose there, the way he's swinging them arms and legs.
That's just about it. That describes him to a T.
Mom, to a T.
Yeah, that means, Doggy, what did I mean there? I know I've heard that before, Summers. To a T. Lum don't look like no T. Looks more like an X, I'd say. Now, let's see what...
I believe that was your ring there, Mr. A.P.
Yeah, I heard it. To a T, Doggy. I got to watch myself. Go around here saying things I don't even understand what I'm talking about myself. Hello, John down store and library. A.P. doing the talking. Why, Mr. Edders just stepped out. Who's calling? Oh, well, wait a minute. Hey, Cedric.
Yes, Mom?
Holler across the street there and call Lum. This is Mr. Dobbs calling here.
Oh, yes, Mom.
Hello, Mr. Dobbs. Just hold the phone a second. Hurry up, Cedric.
Well, I can't see Mr. Lum nowheres. He must have went summers with Mr. B.J.
Oh, my goodness. Now what'll we do?
Yeah, now what'll we do?
I reckon we just better handle it for old Lum. He never would forgive us. We let this chance slip away and ruin the whole thing for him.
Well, them's my views on it, A.P. If we're having a meeting.
You're right, C.W. Hello, Mr. Dobbs? Why, we can't reach Mr. Edders right now, but I know what he wants. Well, he wants to hire you to draw up some plans for a hotel we're aiming on building here in Pine Ridge. Yes, sir. Well, now, I'm glad you brung that up, 'cause I'm prepared to dicker with you. Yeah, I know what he's aiming on paying, and here's our best offer. All right, Cedric, get up here close to the phone.
Yes, Mom.
Come on, let's go. Oh, they cut down the old pine tree, and they hauled it away to the mill to make a coffin so fine.
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
Aye, Doggy Lum, I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, Jot 'em down store. This is Lum and Abner.
Let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, Lum's activities as head of the planning committee for the proposed health resort were somewhat impeded yesterday when Abner and Cedric tried to help Lum hire an architect for the job. However, plans for the project are well underway in spite of this. As we look in on the little community today, we find Abner in the Jot 'em Down store and library talking to his father, Finus Peabody. Listen.
Why, sure, Papa, I got a few minutes to talk to you. What do you want to talk about?
I just want to have a little heart-to-heart talk with you, son.
Oh, some trouble come up twixt you and Elizabeth?
Oh, no. Elizabeth's a good girl, son. You're lucky to have a helpmate like little Elizabeth.
Oh, yes, I am. Yeah. Well, what's the trouble then, Papa?
Well, it's about your money, son.
My money?
Yeah. I just want to warn you, Abner, don't go throwing it away.
Well, I ain't throwing it away, Papa.
I'm older than you, son, and I understand these things.
Uh-huh.
Maybe it's my own fault, of course. Maybe I never spent enough time with you explaining the principles of thrift to you.
Well, Papa...
Maybe I ain't been all that a father ought to be to his boy.
No, sir, now, you've been an awful good Papa to me. Honest, you have.
Well,
now, you just stop worrying about that. Why, I wouldn't trade you for no other Papa nowhere.
Well, it's high time you was learning some of these things, though, Abner. Money comes too hard to squander it.
Now, listen, Papa, I know how to handle my money. I wish you'd recollect I ain't no kid of a boy no more.
Money comes too hard, my boy. Take my advice now and don't go into it.
Don't go into what?
Why, this health resort contraption. Elizabeth told me what you was aiming on doing.
Oh, is that what's bothering you?
Yeah.
Well, everybody's going in on that, Papa.
Take my advice.
Why, that's the biggest one thing that ever happened to Pine Ridge. Lum says that's going to boom up business around here, something wonderful.
What do you know about the health resort business, Abner?
Well, I don't know much about it myself, but Lum says it's a good idea. And Mr. Webster, he knows all about it. You ought to hear him tell about it in them meetings we have.
What do you know about Mr. Webster, though?
Huh?
Who is he? Where'd he come from?
He come from Detroit. Hey, you worked for him yourself one day, and you said you thought he was awful nice.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't like the cut of his jib. Don't know that I'd trust him too firm.
Oh, prattle.
Well, take my advice, Abner.
Now, Papa, you're just magic and stuff.
Well...
Mr. Webster knows what he's doing. He's doing a good thing for us here. Everybody says that.
Don't like the cut of his jib, boy.
Why, he even went to all the trouble to have that spring water on Grandpap Spiritus' place analyzed by a chemist and all that.
How'd you know he did?
Huh?
Did you see the chemist do it?
Well, no, but Mr. Webster read us a report on it, though.
Did you see the report with your own eyes?
No, but...
Just don't like the cut of his jib, son. No, sir, don't like the way his jaw is shaped.
Well, now, Papa, you're just worrying yourself over something that ain't nothing at all.
Well, maybe so. Maybe you know what you're doing.
Why, sure I do, sure.
I hope so.
Oh, yeah.
I ain't going to argue with you about it. I ain't got time now. I got to run down to the barber shop now.
Yeah, well, just don't bother your head over this no more now, Papa.
All right. I got to get down there and get the police gazette before Milford Spears gets hold of it.
Yeah, be careful now, Papa. Don't get no argument.
Oh, here comes Lum.
Yeah, I see him.
How do you do, Mr. Peabody?
Yes.
You ain't rushing off, are you?
Yeah, got to do it. Yeah, see you later.
Yeah. Where's your papa going in such a hurry?
Oh, no place, Lum. Just down the barber shop, so.
Oh, yeah. Well, say, just wondering if he couldn't sort of hang around the store tomorrow and help you out, because I think I'll be going into the county seat.
What do you got to go in there for?
Well, the main reason is I want to talk to J.B. Dobbs, that feller I'm aiming to get for the architect.
You mean the one I talked to on the telephone yesterday?
Yeah, that's the one.
I don't think it'll do you no good, Lum. Of course, when I got done talking to him, he didn't much act like he wanted the job.
Well, of course not. Not after the way you might not ruined everything for me. That's why I have to go in there and see him in personage.
Yeah, and I just hope you have better luck with him than I did.
No, don't worry, I will.
Is that the only reason you're going in there?
Yeah, mostly. Oh, there is another little thing.
What little thing?
Oh, nothing. Just going to draw out that $700.
$700. You mean the money me and you've got in that double-jointed saving account?
Yeah, only it ain't double-jointed account. It's jointed account.
Well, whatever it's called. What are you drawing the money out for, Lum?
Well, we're going to put it in the health resort, natural.
Oh?
We surely don't want to miss out on a good deal like that, do we?
No, of course not.
Oh, I'm just sorry we ain't got more ready cash capitals to sink into the company.
Yeah, it is too bad, I reckon.
Oh, that could make millionaires out of both of us.
Yeah. I was just thinking, Lum, money comes sort of hard, and a fella really oughtn't to squander it.
Well, we ain't squandering it, are we?
Well, no, but, I was just thinking, me and you don't know a whole lot about the health resort business, Lum.
Well, no, but you know how fast I pick things up. Besides, we got B.J., he knows all about it.
Yeah, but now, just exactly what do we know about Mr. Webster? B.J.?
Why, we know a lot about him.
We do, huh?
We know he comes from Detroit, and, well, we know he comes from Detroit. We know that.
Yeah, we know that good, yeah.
And when you know where a man's from, why, you know what his hometown is.
Yeah, I reckon you're right. Never had looked at it just that way before.
Oh, he's a good man. Ain't no two ways about it. A good man if ever I seen one.
Yeah. Of course, I don't know where I like the cut of his jib or not, Lum.
The cut of his what?
His jib. The
cut
shape
of his jib.
The shape of his jaw. That's an expression.
Well, what's wrong with his jaw?
Well, I don't know. It's all right, I reckon.
Well, what'd you say you never liked the cut of it for, then?
Well, it was just a mistake, Lum. I like his jaw. Prettiest one I ever seen, I guess.
All right. Don't go around making remarks like that, then. Besides, you can't tell nothing about a feller by the shape of his jaw. You can't tell how fat a rooster is by looking at him in the face.
I'm sorrowful I said it.
No, I figure if I leave the first thing in the morning, I ought to be able to get back by the middle of the afternoon.
Yeah, of course, Lum, we never actually seen him do it.
Seen who do what?
Seen the chemist analyze that spring water.
Well, of course we never. But you heard B.J. read the report on it.
Did we see that report with our own eyes?
Abner, what are you trying to do anyway? Talk us out of this health resort idea?
Well, no, not exactly, Lum, but it just looks like it wouldn't hurt to sort of think about it a little longer before we go and throw all our money away.
We ain't throwing our money away. You know good and well that this is the greatest one opportunity that's ever come our way.
Well, you're more likely right, I guess.
Just don't get to worrying your head over this. Just leave everything to me. I know a good thing when I see it, and this is it.
Maybe so. Maybe you know what you're doing.
Of course I do.
I hope so. Well, I reckon I better get out and make them delivers now, as long as you're here to look after the store.
Yeah, you better get after that. Miss Barton was complaining the other day she was fixing to make some biscuits and was waiting on you to deliver the soda. Young'uns might nigh starve to death before you got there.
Well, I'd just taken her a box of soda the day before.
Yeah, well, just hurry up now. Don't keep nobody waiting today.
I'm going. Is this all of them right here?
I reckon so. I don't know. You put them up, didn't you?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'll take them. I believe that's our ring, Lum.
Yeah, I heard it. I'll get it.
Yeah, I'll see you later.
All right. Hello, Jot 'em Down Store and Library. Lum Edwards talking. Oh, well, he's on his way now, Miss Barton. Oh, well, that's too bad. Well, we can send it out in tomorrow's deliver. Need it for today, huh? Another batch of biscuits, huh? Well, I tell you, I might be able to run out and catch Abner. Well, there won't be no trouble. Or wait a minute, though. I see Abner's papa coming up out there. Maybe we can get him to drop you off at your place on his way home. Yes, Ma. Oh, not at all, Miss Barton. Not at all.
Where was Abner go?
Yes, Ma.
Oh,
all right.
Excuse me.
Goodbye.
Where was Abner going?
Oh, he just went out to make the delivers.
Yeah?
Say, Mr. Peabody, I wonder if you'd do me a favor and drop off a box of soda at the Barton's place on your way home.
Well, I ain't going home now, though. I wanted to talk to Abner. but maybe I'd rather talk to you.
Why, sure. What was you wanted to talk about?
Well, I was just talking to Mr. Webster down the street about this health resort idea, and, well, I got to thinking, Mum. I got a little piece of money saved up, and I was wondering if I oughtn't to put it in.
Well, I don't know, Mr. Peabody. Money comes too hard to go squandering it around.
Yeah, but the way Mr. Webster's got this thing figured out...
Exactly how much do you know about Mr. Webster?
Well, he comes from Detroit, I know that.
How do you know he comes from Detroit?
Well...
Didn't you see him come from there?
Well... Wait a minute. What have you got against Mr. Webster, anyways?
Well, I'll tell you, Mr. Peabody. I've been studying it over. I'm a great judge of human nature, you know. I just don't like the cut of his jib. I don't like the way his jaw shakes. Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
Aye, Doggy's Lum, I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, Jot 'em Down store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down at Pine Ridge. Well, plans are being forwarded for developing the spring on Grandpappy Spears' farm and building a health resort, but yesterday a small doubt began to creep into the minds of Lum and Abner as to the authenticity of Mr. Webster's report on the health-promoting qualities in the spring water. As we look in on the little community today, we find Lum in the Jot 'em Down store and library. Abner's just entering. Listen.
Oh, they cut down morning on the old pine tree.
I'm glad you got back, Abner. I want you to run an errand for me.
Well, here, let me rest up first. My Doggies, them delivers is heavy this morning, Lum. I'm tired.
Well, this is sort of important, so, Abner. I want you to run out to Grandpap's place and get a little bucket of that spring water.
Water? Lum, now, if you're thirsty, there's a lot of places a heap closer than that where you can get a drink of water without me carrying it to you.
I don't want to drink it. I want to get it annualized.
Annulite? Do you know how to do that?
No, but I know where I can get it done.
Oh.
You recollect Ed Beckley's oldest boy?
Emery? Yeah, sure. He's the one that's away to college someplace.
Yeah, but he's home again now. Leastways for a few days, and then he goes into the Navy.
Well, good for Emery. Giving up college, huh?
Well, he was sort of in the Navy whilst he was still going there, near as I can understand it.
Well.
But what I wanted to tell you was this. One of the things he studied in college was chemistry.
Chemistry?
Yeah, that's the way you pronounce that. It ain't chemistry.
Oh, chemistry.
See, that's what you study when you want to take up being a chemist.
Yeah. I wondered how you got to be one of them things.
Well, that's how. Anyways, Emery dropped in here this morning. I got to talking to him about this idea of developing that spring on Grandpappy Spears' farm and building a health resort.
You say Emery was in the store here this morning?
Yeah, about a half hour ago.
Doggone, I wished I could have saw him.
Well, you'll more likely see him before he leaves again.
I hope so.
He sure looks good in that uniform of his.
Oh, he's wearing his uniform, huh?
Oh, yeah. Stands up straight as a stake.
Huh.
I believe that training has done him a world of good.
Oh, I'd love to see Emery. He's a good boy. He is. Yeah.
Well, anyway, when me and him was talking, one thing led to another, and finally he said he'd like to annualize that spring water himself and find out just exactly what's inside of it.
Well, good for Emery. Reckon how he does that anyway, Lum. Look inside of water. How do you take water apart?
Well, he got ways of doing it somehow.
Knife wouldn't help you none. I know that myself, and I ain't even no chemist.
Knife?
Knife, yeah. You couldn't cut water apart with a knife.
Well, don't worry about that, Abner.
He's a little too loose to crack it open with a hammer, too, I reckon.
Well, Emery will take care of all of that.
I'm going to watch him when he does it, too, I'll tell you that. Now, there's something I'd love to see, taking water apart.
Well, I'm afraid you can't see him do it, though.
Why not? Is it a secret?
No, but, see, Emery has to go to Little Rock to report, and he knows some chemicals outfit there that'll let him do the annualizing there in their place.
Oh.
See, he ain't got the equipments to do it here in Pine Ridge.
Dad blame it. Something interesting comes along and I always have to miss out on it.
Well, it might not be so much to watch anyway.
I'll never know how they do that now. I'm the unluckiest one human that ever drawed breath. How I stayed alive this long with my bad luck, I don't know. I just don't know.
Pity's sakes, Abner. Always feeling sorrowful for yourself.
Huh?
Quit feeling sorry for yourself.
Well, all right. I know one thing, though. I'm more likely to never get a good night's sleep from now on. Just lay there and toss and turn all night long, wondering how they take that water apart.
Well, maybe Emery can explain to you how they do it.
I wish he would.
But the thing for you to do now is to go on over to Grandpap's and get the water.
Of course, you know what they could do now, Lum. They could freeze it and then take an ice pick and break it up that way.
Abner, I told you to stop worrying about that.
Of course, that'd be ice, so if you freeze it, wouldn't actually be water. It might be unhonest to do it that way.
Will you hush up and go on out to Grandpap's?
It wouldn't do no good to sneak up on the water when it weren't looking. No, I know that's no good.
When it weren't looking?
It won't work. I done thought it
How
would
could
work.
water look anyway?
I don't know. You look in there, you see yourself. It might be looking back at you. I don't know.
For pity's sakes, Abner.
Of course, you could run it through a cream separator, I reckon.
Are you going out to Grandpap's or ain't you?
Yeah, I'm going. Wait a minute, Lum. That's a long trip out there.
Oh, it ain't so far.
On a hot day like this, Lum, I'm a feller that oughtn't to be out in the sun. I just blister all over. Might get myself sunstrike. I don't know.
You're just stalling around and you know it.
Oh, why don't we just call up Grandpappy Spirit and have him bring a bucket of water in with him?
No, because I don't want him to know we're doing this.
Oh.
He just run and tell it to Mr. Webster.
How do you know he will?
Well, since he got to be president of the company, he hangs around Mr. Webster practical all the time.
Oh.
Hurry up now, Abner. Get started.
Lum, I just ain't got the feet for walking no more. My guts is just killing me, Lum. I think these shoes is too tight.
You're making excuses, and I know it.
I'll tell you, Lum, I'm the type of a feller that ought to sit down 10 or 12 hours a day. I'm awful far behind in my setting right now. How about getting Cedric to do it for us?
Well, he's sleeping now. He's working back over there at the defense plan. No, you'll have to do it yourself, Abner.
My doggy, it looks like it. Of course, I don't see what we want to do this for no ways. Mr. Webster done had that spring water annualized, Lum.
Well, that's just the point. We don't know for sure where he done it or not.
We don't, huh?
No, it's like we was talking yesterday. We've never actually saw no report on that water ourselves. We've just been taking Mr. Webster's word for it.
Yeah.
Fact is, I got to thinking about that last night, and so I dropped around to the boarding house to see Mr. Webster, and I sort of casual-like brung up the subject of the report.
Well.
Finally, I just come right out flat-footed and asked him if I could see it. And do you know he never showed it to me?
He never?
No, sir. Just beat around the bush is all he done.
Huh. Beat around the bush, huh?
Yeah. Acted like he couldn't find the report.
Well, no wonder he couldn't if that's where he keeps it, out there in a bush.
Out in the bush?
Can't he find a better place than that to keep it?
A better place to keep what?
The report on that spring water.
I never said he kept it out in a bush.
Well, why was he out there hunting for it then?
I never said that.
You said he was out there beating around some bush.
Oh, I said that, but...
Well, if he weren't looking for the report, what was he doing out there threshing around in the bushes? Trying to scare up a covey of quail?
Covey of quail?
Yeah, that ain't no place to hunt quail on. There ain't none of them around that boarding house. You ought to have told him that. You know better places than that for him to go along.
Well, of course I do.
Them Pin Oak Flats for incidents, them fields down there along the river, them's awful good places. Frank Foster, he generally goes down there.
I know he does. I've been down there myself.
Of course, now, if I was him, though, I wouldn't want to let nobody catch me shooting quail this time of year. I'll tell him that right now. The game wardens will get him.
Abner, Mr. Webster ain't going hunting, so you can just get that idea right out of your little old bird brain.
He ain't, huh?
No.
I'm glad he changed his mind. Hate to see a man do anything that's unlegal. I just don't like to see a feller do it.
No, you can stop worrying then, because Mr. Webster ain't going hunting for no birds.
Well, that makes me feel better. Of course, I ain't no game warden, but I don't like to see it.
Good. I'm proud you feel better now.
Yes, sir.
That's fine. Now, maybe you'll be good enough to go out to...
Of course, now, if Mr. Webster'd be satisfied shooting a few rabbits, Lum, now that's a different matter altogether.
Oh, me.
It's legal to shoot them. Now, I'll bet you I know at least 100 good places to go for them things, and I'll take my dog along, too. Good a varmint dog as ever stuck nose to a trail.
Just hold your horses, Abner.
Maybe I better go along with him, Lum. Mr. Webster don't know where to go hunting. Tell that by the places he picks out. Huh?
What do you mean, huh?
What did you say about holding his horses? Is he going hunting on horseback?
Oh, sworn to goodness, I don't know how you do it.
Well, I never done it. I saw pictures of them where they go hunting on horseback. All that's chasing a bunch of foxes. Have a lot of hound dogs, and they all wear them red coats and them...
The hound dogs wear red coats?
No, the fellas doing the hunting. Have fancy-looking horses, and they all go around hollering, Tailies ho, all the time.
The horses?
The hound dogs. No, wait a minute. I believe you're a little mixed up there, Lum.
I'm mixed up, huh?
Yeah, just a minute here now. I'll get you all straightened out on this.
Good.
It ain't hard to understand if you just put your mind to it, concentrate. Now, you see, Lum, the hound dog, that is the horses.
All right, just stop right there. I don't want to hear no more about it.
Well, Lum, this is simple, easy stuff. You can get it.
I don't care how simple and easy it is. I'm sick and tired of the whole thing. Before you say another word, I want to tell you that Mr. Webster ain't going hunting on horseback.
He ain't, huh?
No.
Changed his mind on that, too, huh?
Yeah, changed his mind.
Good for him. I never did put much store in that hunting by horseback, neither. Feller do a heap better down on the ground, I'll tell him that. Tramping over the hills afoot. That's the best way to go. Fact is, that's the best part of a hunting trip right there, is all that walking.
You like the walking, huh?
Oh, just love it the worst way. I believe I better go along with Mr. Webster, Lum, just to show him where the good places is at, you know.
Yeah, but of course now, you're going to have to hike an awful long ways. Are you sure you like walking that much?
Oh, sure. There ain't no one thing I like better than walking.
And recollect this, too, it's going to be awful hot out there.
Oh, no, me, I don't care. That's when I like walking the best, when it's good and hot. Love to have that old sun up beating down on me.
Now, you're sure of all that now?
Oh, I never was sure of nothing in my whole life. I love it. Just
well, all right then. Get a bucket and get out to Grandpap's and get that spring water. For a fellow that loves to walk in the hot sun much as you do, that ought to be a privilege and a joy. Now, get going.
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
Aye, doggies, Lum, I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, jot 'em down, store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, after Lum and Abner became a little suspicious of the report which Mr. Webster is supposed to have on the spring water at Grandpappy Spears' farm, they decided to have some of the water analyzed themselves. As we look in on the little community today, we find Abner in the Jot 'em Down store library talking to Cedric Wehunt. Listen.
You want to buy a necktie? Lord me, where are you going, Cedric?
Well, I'm going to a dance, I think.
Well, I figured it must be something fancy as long as you're getting all decked out this way. Well, let's see, Cedric, we got some nice red ties. Maybe you'd rather have a yellow one, though.
No, Mom, this is a high-class dance I'm going to, so I want one of them black bow ties.
Black bow ties?
Yes, Mom. One of them kind made out of leather or oilcloth or something. Kind of shiny.
Oh.
Hold them on with a sort of a rubber band.
Yeah, I know the kind, Cedric, but we just sold the last one we had to Howard Polk. He started working in the filling station. He had to have one, you know.
Doggone it anyway.
Maybe you can borrow Howard's from him, Cedric.
No, Mom, he's going to the dance, too, so he'll wear it himself, I reckon.
Oh. Well, let's see.
He's a fancy dresser, too.
Yeah. We might take some black shoe polish and sort of just paint a bow tie right there on your shirt collar, Cedric.
Yeah. No, only trouble is, though, I get pretty hard at that dance, and I like to take my tie off then.
Oh.
Couldn't do it if it was painted on. It's smothered to death.
Yeah, that's right. Let's see.
Then if it got too tight, I couldn't take it off neither.
No. I wish Lum was here. He might know somebody that's got a black bow tie.
Ain't Mr. Lum here?
No, he went in the county seat to draw some money out of our double-jointed saving accounts in there.
Oh, we're going to invest it in Mr. Webster's health resort idea, huh?
Well, maybe. We ain't doing nothing, though, till we get that report from Emory.
From Emory?
Uh-oh, I weren't supposed to tell about that, Cedric.
Emery Beckley, you mean?
Yeah, see, he knows a lot about chemistries, and he's annualizing some of that spring water off of Grandpap Spears' farm.
Yeah, but Emery's left town, though. He went to Little Rock to report himself into the Navy.
Yeah, but he taken a sample of the spring water with him. He's a chemicals outfit there in Little Rock where he can do the annualizing, then he'll mail us back a report.
Oh, I thought Mr. Webster done had that stuff annualized.
Well, he did, but we want to do it ourselves just to make sure about everything, Cedric. But now, don't you go telling this to nobody.
No, Mama, I won't. Cross my heart.
Yeah, whereabouts is this dance you're going to?
Oh, out at Elderberry Grove.
Oh.
The senior unit of the Girls Woodcraft and Leather Tooling Club's giving it.
Well, that's nice.
Oh, all the younger set's going. It'll be some affair.
Well,
Winifred Radfield was elected Woodcraft Queen for it.
Winifred Redfield?
Yeah, she was.
Why, surely, Cedric, they never elected a homely girl like her for the queen, not with all them teeth she's got there.
Well, she got elected because she done extra good in woodcraft.
Oh?
Oh, she's a whittler. She whittled out a wood chain, had regular links in it.
Well.
Whittled it all out of one piece of wood, too.
Yeah, well, for
She
her,
I seen it.
that oughtn't to be hard, Cedric. I bound you she never needed no knife, neither. Them teeth of hers, she could have just gnawed it out.
Well, I don't know whether she did or not. I don't know how she done it.
Well.
Never told that in the invite I got.
Oh, did you get a regular printed-up invite for this shindig?
Oh, yes, Mom. It's their annual summer formal.
Well.
Yeah. Said I was supposed to wear flannels. Don't know whether I will or not, though.
Flannels?
Yeah.
Doggy, that'd be kind of hot this time of year, Cedric.
Just what I figured, too.
Well, I'll tell you, Cedric, I don't believe nobody'd ever know whether you done it or not, though.
No, Mom, I don't think so, neither.
No.
No, they ain't gonna look good.
Oh, no.
Mama's done put my flannel underwear away for the summer anyway.
Yeah, well, I just skipped the flannel size, you, Cedric. It's hot enough out there dancing around as it is.
Yes, Mom, it sure does.
You know, I sort of wish I was going out there with you, Cedric.
I wish you could go, too. I know I'm sure looking forward to it. But...
Oh, yeah, you'll enjoy yourself something wonderful, I know.
Well, just one thing, though. I wish I could dance.
Well, you can dance, can't you, Cedric?
Well, not hardly any, I can't much.
Huh.
Oh, it seems like I got one too many feet or something.
No, you got the right number of feet, Cedric, too. That's what you're supposed to have.
I know, but just seems like they just don't seem to work right out there on the dancing floor.
They don't.
Seems like I got two left feet or something. Yeah. I got so as I can walk backwards pretty good now. Only trouble is it hurts my neck.
Hurts your neck?
Yes, Mom. See, I got to twist my head around and see where I'm going, don't I?
Oh, yeah, I reckon so. Especially a boy your size. Might hurt somebody if you bumped into him.
Yes, Ma. What stumps me the most is when I'm getting headed for a wall. I never can figure out how to turn.
Well, that ain't hard, Cedric. You just turn, that's all.
Well, could you learn me how to do it, Mr. Abner?
I don't know, Cedric. I don't know a whole lot about dancing myself. I think it just comes sort of natural to me. About all I know is that you just take hold of your partner's hand and then count 1, 2, 3 and start pumping the arm up and down.
I can do that.
Kick your feet around, jump around, sort of try to stay with the music if you can. That's just about all there is to it.
Yes, Mom, but exactly how you do it, that's what I want to know.
Well, no, I don't know how to start telling you, Cedric. Wait a minute, I know what we can do.
What's that, Mr.
We've got a book right here in the library that tells you how to dance. I've heard Grandpap Spears reading out of it. Let me find that thing, Cedric. That'll help.
Well, I don't think I'll have much time to read while I'm dancing. I'll be too busy trying to dance.
Yeah, well, this will learn you how before you go to the dance, Cedric. Yeah, here it is, right here. It says, ballroom dancing self-taught.
I don't know where I can learn out of a book or not.
Oh, sure you can. I'll help you. Let's see here now. Here's a mazurka. And the turkey trot. No use learning that now. I believe that's sort of going out of style a little.
Have you got the toddle in there?
I don't know. I don't see it here yet, Cedric. The turkey trot there.
I don't believe I'd much enjoy dancing with a turkey nose ways. It's hard enough with humans.
Here's a waltz. I reckon that's anything like the waltz.
I don't know.
Here's a good one, Cedric. A two-step. You want to learn that in Cedric, a two-step?
Well, I better take one step up at a time, I think.
Well, that's the way we'll do it. Let me read this here now. It says, in dancing the two-step, the gentleman begins with his left foot, the lady with her right.
Well, that's the same trouble I always have. We never can seem to start off with the same foot.
Well, it says it's all right to do it in this dance. Maybe you got just natural talents for the two-step, Cedric.
Well, good for me. What does it say next?
Well, it says first here, first glissade to the left with the left foot.
Glissade, what's that?
I ain't sure myself, Cedric. I believe it means slide, though. More likely that's just a misprint they got there.
Slide my left foot, huh?
Yeah, then, chassis in the same direction with the right foot.
Mom?
Says chassis, I don't know what that means. Wait, maybe it means chases. See, the right foot chases after the left one. That's what it is, yeah. Says in the same direction.
It sounds good to me.
Then repeat.
Yes, Mom, sounds good to me.
Who you hollering at, Cedric?
You told me to repeat.
Oh, I meant for you to repeat the steps. That's sliding and chasing your feet around the floor.
Oh, you mean sliding my left foot and chasing it with my right foot?
Yeah, that's it.
What happens when my right foot catches my left one? Is the dance over then?
Well, I don't know. It don't seem more likely it is, though. That might be the object of the whole thing.
Might be, I don't know. If you want my honest opinions, I'm mixed up on the whole thing.
Yeah, well, you do sort of get mixed up the way they got it wrote here. I believe the best way for you to learn is just for me to show you how to do it. Here, Cedric, let's try a few turns here. I'll show you.
Dance with you mean, Mr. Abner?
Yeah, just for practice. Now, let's see. Now, sort of put your arm around my waist, Cedric.
Mr. Abner, like this?
Yeah.
Oh, it feels silly.
Don't bend over like that, Cedric. Straighten up.
Yes, Mom.
Well, don't straighten up so fast. Cedric, put me down now.
Excuse me, Mr. Abner. Just too many things for one feller to learn, I believe.
Well, it ain't hard once you get on to it. All right, now let's try it, Cedric. Slide your left foot over that way.
I'm sliding her.
Now, here we go. Now, 1, 2, 1, 2. Now you're going, Cedric. 1, 2. Watch out for the pickle barrel there, Cedric.
Well, how do I turn?
This away. That's the time. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2.
What in the world is going on here?
Well, howdy, Lum. When did you get back?
What's all this dancing and singing for? Looks like I can't leave town for 2 minutes before you start up some shenanigans.
I was just learning, Cedric, here to dance.
Yes, Mom, I'm going to a big dance out at Elderberry Grove.
Well, I don't care where you're going. The store ain't no place to practice dancing. Especially not during business hours. What if some customers come in? You'd think you was catching their head.
Well, Cedric just asked me if I couldn't help him.
I know, but the whole thing's ridiculous. Go on home, Cedric, and do your practicing at home.
Yes, Mom. I think I sort of got the hang of it anyway.
Yeah, well, I hope I helped you some, Cedric. I hope you have a good time at the dance.
Much obliged, Mr. Abner, for helping me. I'll see you later.
Yeah, all right. So long.
Very odd is. 2 growed men waltzing around the pickle barrel.
We was two-stepping.
Well, any mail coming from you while I was gone?
Yeah, I believe there's a letter come in. It's laying over on the counter, I believe, Lum.
What else?
Right over there on the counter.
Oh, yeah.
Never said who it was from. Must have been mail right here in town, though.
Well, I do know.
Huh?
It's from the Girls Woodcraft and Leather Tooling Club.
Well, that's the outfit that's giving the dance out there at Elderberry Grove.
Yeah, it says here they want me to come out and be a chaperone. Me and Miss Milbank.
For the land sakes. Maybe you can ride out with Cedric.
I ain't been to a dance in a long time.
No.
Wonder if I can still trip the Fantastics. Sort of rusty, I'm fearing.
Yeah, you more likely are.
Say, Abner, what was that step you and Cedric was doing?
I think it was sort of 2 steps, what I believe it was.
How does that go, anyways?
Well, you just sort of slide your left foot over to the left, and wait a minute, I believe I can show you better than I can tell you, though.
Yeah.
Here, just sort of put your arm around my waist here. Now, that's it. Now, let's go. Ready? 1, 2, 1, 2.
Doing good, ain't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, howdy.
Yeah, come in, Grandpap. Be down here in just a minute.
Well, for garden seed. That does it. Now I'll show everything. May I have the next dance, Miss Edwards? That ring is, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
Dog is Lum. I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, jot 'em down, store. This is Lum and Abner.
Let's see what's going on down at Pine Ridge. Well, Lum and Abner are anxiously awaiting a report on the spring water which their friend Emery Beckley promised to send them from Little Rock. Lum is holding off investing their money in Mr. Webster's health resort plan until he's sure that Grandpap Spring actually contains health-promoting properties. As we look in on the little community today, we find Abner in the Jot 'em Down store and library. Lum is just entering.
Granny just got here, Abner.
You back, Lum?
Yeah, it come in the mail just now.
What did?
That report on the spring water.
The
one Emery Beckley was going to send us.
Has he got the water all annualized now?
According to this, he has.
Well, good for him. Hooray.
Looks like I sort of owe Mr. Webster an apology, too.
What'd you do, hit him?
No, I just mean I won't apologize for suspicion that he never actually had that spring water annualized.
Well, he never knowed you suspicioned him, did he?
Well, I don't know whether he did or not. But you recollect that day I went over there and asked him if I could see the report he had?
Yeah.
He just gave me a lot of excuses. Never did show it to me.
No, I know it.
So right away I jumped to a conclusion and figured he never actually had no report.
Well, did he have one?
Well, he must have, because this report from Emery says about the same thing that Mr. Webster claims his said.
Well, that spring water's healthy stuff to drink, huh?
Oh, yeah. So it looks like we better invest our money in that health resort quick as we can.
Yeah, well, let me see that report that Emery sent, Lum. I'd just love to see what one of them things looks like.
Well, wait, I ain't looked at it all of it myself yet.
Oh.
I just read the part where he said the water was good and healthy and all that.
Yeah, well, read it out loud so I can hear it, Lum. I just love to hear it.
Just a minute, let me get it out of the envelope.
You know, I figured that water must be good for a feller. See, we were over at Grandpappy Spears' place for supper last night, and I don't know how many dippers full of that spring water I drank. And I can sure tell the difference today, too. I just feel frisky as anything at all.
You're just imagining that now, I think.
Huh?
You never felt particularly frisky this morning, but now, quick as I tell you what the report said, you think you just feel wonderful.
Well, I do, though, Lum. I never felt better my whole life. I do right now.
Yeah, but that little bit of water you drank wouldn't have done it. You got the biggest imagination of any one fella I ever met, I do believe.
Lum, you said yourself.
Never mind. Just let me read the report here.
Oh, but I do feel good, though. I'm bound to have to whip a wildcat. Right?
See, I read that first paragraph there.
Sure could.
Down to where it tells what's in the water.
Maybe 2 wildcats. I don't know.
Emery says the water contains the following elements. Iron, 1%.
Up a mountain line. Iron? Is that what you said?
Yeah, 1%.
Oh, pretty little prattle. I don't believe it, Lum.
Well, I guess you know more about it than them scientifics does, huh?
Well, no, I don't claim that, but that sounds silly, Lum. Iron and water. You can't drink iron, and you know it.
I never said you could, but it's in there just the same.
Well, what kind of iron is it? You mean just common, ordinary iron like they make horseshoes and such as that out of?
Yeah, I reckon so.
Well, now, I've looked clean to the bottom of that spring any number of times, Lum, and I know blame well there ain't no iron in it.
Well, you ain't supposed to see the iron. It's all mixed up in the water.
Mixed up?
Why, sure.
Now, how you gonna mix iron up? You can't throw a horseshoe in there and take an egg beater or something like that and mix it up in water, Lum.
I know that.
That's plumb silly. If there's iron in there, I could see it, and you know it yourself.
Well, it's little bitty pieces, I think.
I don't believe it. You and Amber and Mr. Webster and the rest of you can believe all that if you want to, but I've toted a lot of that water from the spring up to Grandpap's house, Lum, and I know it ain't no heavier than no other water.
I guess we ought to have you annualize the water since you know so much about it.
Well, I wish you had iron in water. That is the silliest thing.
Iron in water's good for you. A body needs iron in his system.
What for?
To give him strength. Fella ought to eat so much iron every day.
Eat iron?
Why, sure.
My doggy, that outcaps anything I ever heard.
Well, what's wrong with that?
Well, I'd just love to see Elizabeth bring me in a red-hot flat on a platter there and tell me to take my knife and fork and start cutting it. Put ketchup and such as that over a flat iron.
Well, you don't eat iron that way. I ain't talking about flat irons, no way.
If out there's anything, you ought to just stop down here at the junkyard and have supper, Lum. You can start chewing on that big cultivator sitting there. That'll make you 3 or 4 meals.
For pity's sake.
Take a little salt and pepper and put on it. eat the bedstead right out from under yourself. You don't watch out what you're doing.
Would look silly if I'd take out his pocket knife and start nibbling on it.
Why, sure.
No.
Because when they start setting iron on the table where I'm eating, I'll just find me another eating place. That's what I'll do.
Well, I don't care where you eat.
Well, you can do as you like, but I ain't gonna make no goat out of myself. I'll tell you that right now, Lum. Of course, there was a time now when me and Elizabeth was first married, I would have swore she was putting a little iron in them biscuits of hers, but I don't think she actually done it.
Well, Abner, just forget about that. You've drunk plenty of iron. I just never knowed before about it.
Tell Elizabeth to give me an old skillet for supper. That's what I'll do. Well, I reckon that I have. If that water at Grandpap's place got it in it, I must have had it, but it's hard to believe. I'll say that.
True, though.
I don't believe it.
What's next in this report? Iron 1%, potassium 5%.
Lum, how does it make you feel anyway?
How does what make you feel?
Drinking iron. I mean, do you feel sort of heavy all over?
Oh, of course not.
Well, I'll believe it does, Lum. Oh, but I believe I better lean up against the counter here.
Abner, don't get to worrying about that.
It's got enough.
Get your mind on the report here.
Well, I know I ain't stout enough to carry all that iron around.
Potassium 5%, magnesium.
Now, wait a minute. Whoa, back up. I jumped the track. What is that other in there? Potassium.
No, potassium.
Well, is that anything like a possum?
No.
Is that in the water, too?
5% of it.
But I ought to strain that water before I drunk it. I noted at the time I ought to did it.
Well, that ain't gonna hurt you none.
Well, what is that stuff?
Well, it's kind of a chemical thing. It's hard for me to explain to you.
You mean that you don't know neither, huh?
Well, I don't know exactly. I'll admit that.
I fear to that. Here I am drinking stuff and neither one of us knows what it is. I believe I better sit down here, Lum.
Yeah, sit down and hash up.
Oh,
Let's see here now.
I ain't feeling my level best, I'll tell you that.
Next is magnesium 1%.
Magazine?
No, magnesium.
Oh.
Oh. You don't know what I mean.
I never said I did. I just said, oh.
I know, but the way you said it sounded to me like you thought you did.
Oh, well, excuse me. I must have had another kind of O in mind, I reckon.
Watch your O's after this. Put the right reflection on them. You won't get no trouble.
All right.
Now, let's see here.
I believe the kind of O I was using there was a kind that means, oh, I'm sick, Lum.
Sick?
Oh, well, who wouldn't be? All that potassiums and magnesiums and everything else that I've been drinking in that spring water.
Well, that won't make you sick, silly.
That ain't gonna help you, Lum.
It will, too. I've drunk plenty of that spring water, and I feel all right.
And I'm just glad one of us does. We've got to keep the store running some way. Lum, would you mind to get a cold rag to put a sort of put on my head here?
Oh, for goodness sake. You ain't sick, Abner.
Yeah. Maybe I ain't sick, but I don't feel good. I know that.
Prattle. Let's see.
Oh, me, I'm aching all over.
Next here we have sodium 1%. Phosphate 1%.
Phosphate? Was that in there, too?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, me.
Well, wait a minute. You know what phosphate is. Ain't you never went up to a soda fountain and ordered a strawberry phosphate?
Strawberry? I noted. Anything with strawberries in it always gives me the highs. It'll do it every time, Lum.
Wait a minute.
I know it's why they're carrying strawberries over and dumping them in the spring first. They're putting them in there. Ain't no telling what that Grandpap stowed in there, Lum.
Well, wait a minute. I never said it actually had strawberries in it. I said phosphate.
Yes, you did. I heard you, Lum. You're just trying to make me feel better. Dad, blame that Grandpappy spear throwing everything around the place in that spring. I'm a sick man, Lum.
Oh, for pity's sake, pull yourself together.
I just don't believe I can do it, Lum. Maybe I better lay down on them horse blankets. I'm sick of
Now, Abner, don't you lay down there.
Oh, I've got to do it, Lum. I'm just so dizzy. I just can't sit up no more.
Oh, to goodness. You can talk yourself into more things than any one human I ever seen.
Oh.
Now, what's the matter?
Oh, doggies, I'm worse off than I figured I was.
Well, what's the trouble?
You know them spots I always see in front of my eyes?
Yeah.
Doggies, Lum, they're gone now.
Gone.
I can't see a single one of them, not even that big purple one in the middle there.
Well, that's the silliest thing you said so far today.
Lum, you better call Doc Miller.
I ain't gonna do no such thing.
Hurry up, Lum. Help a friend and do it.
You want to lay there and think you're dying, go ahead and do it, but don't bother me with it.
Poor old Abner.
Let's see, where was I at in this report?
Break the news to Elizabeth, General Lum, will you,
Boss
please?
of fate.
Tell her I never knowed what I was drinking.
The last one here is... Oh, my goodness.
What's the matter, Lum?
Oh, nothing.
What is it, Lum?
When was the last time I drunk some of that water?
Huh?
Abner, how do you feel?
Oh, I feel terrible. Oh, me.
Well, exactly what are your symptoms?
I ain't got no symptoms. I'm too sick, Lum.
Well, about them spots in front of your eyes, are you sure you can't see them?
No, sir, not a single one. They're all gone.
Well, look good.
I'm looking, Lum. They ain't out there no more. There ain't a one of them there I can see just clear as
Well,
anything.
they must be there, because I think I can see them now.
Huh?
Yeah, I can. Better move over, Abner. Let me lay down there.
Well, are you sick, too?
I'm dying. That's what I'm doing.
Dying?
Yes, sir. Do you know what else was in that spring water?
I asked you wouldn't tell me.
Well, brace yourself for this.
Huh?
There's 100% of strychnine.
Strychnine? Oh, my goodness, that stuff's poison, Lum.
Abner, don't say that word. Just crawl over to the phone there and call Doc Miller. Tell him to hurry before we're both gone.